movie fans, welcome to Cold and Trash Horror Movie Grind the Podcast. I am your host Ian. This is the show in which we grind on the absolute worst horror and sci-fi movies we can find and make fun of just how bad they are, as well as praise the good, cool classics that have been lost throughout time. Now get ready because we're about to dive real deep inside of Hollywood's dumpster in search of the good, the so bad it's good, and the fucking ugly. Now put on your seatbelt, grab a beer or two, and enjoy the show. Hey, party people. We're going to do a crazy movie today. A movie called Phenomena, also known as Creepers. This movie has two titles. For some reason, don't ask me. I don't know. It has two titles. Phenomena and Creepers. Came out in 1985, directed by legendary cult horror director Dario Argento. Sorry. I called him legendary, and then I forgot his name for a second. But it's all good. He is, of course, known by the movie Suspiria. That's his big cult classic. But we're not going to do that one. We're going to do Phenomena, a.k.a. Creepers, which I think I saw both these movies at the same time. They're like within this past week. I enjoy Phenomena better, actually. It's more fun. Phenomena, I mean, the other one, Suspiria, is a lot more serious. A lot scarier, but Phenomena is just fun. So we're going to talk about that, and to talk about it with me, of course, I've got Sloan, Daniel, and G's back. What's up?
Guten Morgen.
How y'all doing?
Oh, doing good. Yeah, this was definitely, I think, the first time I ever saw this movie, and so yeah, you put me in for quite a treat with this one. I mean, I love bugs, so hey, it's right up my alley.
Nice. Daniel and G, how about y'all?
Good.
Oh, it's great. Good to be out here again.
Yeah. Okay. Daniel, G, you said that this is the first time you saw it, right?
Yeah.
And what did you think about it?
I enjoyed it more than I thought I was going to.
Yeah.
It was fun to watch. Like, it was fucking insane, but it's fun.
Yeah, that's definitely like, yeah. I don't know whether it went with the name Phenomena or Creepers. It should have just been called Bonkers or just.
It should have been called Dream Doorways. We never even knew what was happening with those doorways in most of those dreams.
Right. Or Bugs, the movie. Or just crazy shit. Daniel, what about you? Is this your first time seeing this?
This is my first time seeing this movie, and I had higher expectations. Dario Argento has a cult following, and I have not watched any of his movies yet. This being my first of his, I didn't want to watch the movie halfway through, and you guys urged me to keep doing it, so I did, and I was
And it got so much
pleasantly
better, right?
surprised, but we'll talk about it later in the podcast.
Right. Yeah, I think it would be fair to say that like nobody was expecting how just crazy this movie was, and how crazier it got.
Oh yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, so we have a very young Jennifer Connelly. This movie came out like 1 year before. What's that movie she's popular
Labyrinth?
for? Labyrinth, yeah. I almost said Dark Crystal. I was like, no, it's not Dark Crystal. Yeah, Labyrinth. This movie came up before that.
Very different from Requiem for a Dream, which she was also in. Very terrifying.
You know what? I think that this movie is what was going on in her head while she was doing drugs in Requiem for a Dream.
I could see that.
Yeah, like in her head, she's like controlling bugs and going through this crazy, just crazy mansion with corpse pools and stuff, but in reality, she's just bitching at Jared Leto.
Like we all do.
Yeah. So, since this movie has multiple plots, somebody give me one of them. Daniel, what is one of the plots in this movie?
Spoiled schoolgirl would really, really, really like her daddy to save her from not having the best time of her life. And she wants to believe that everybody around her is a killer and everyone around her is terrible. And frankly, at the end of the day, she doesn't even notice that there's an actual serial killer around them. She has overlooked all the details of the actual killer. And we're very surprised to find out that this person is actually terrible.
What do you mean by that? The last part you said. She's
Oh,
terrible.
I would say that that our killer in this movie is not actually our killer in this movie is not actually very obvious. Maybe to you guys it was.
Okay.
During my watch through, it was not. I felt like we had a spoiled schoolgirl just trying to get out of being at school. She had all these different traumas. She had sleepwalking. She had communication with bugs. She had wheelchair crush guy that she needed to talk to about all her problems, and she couldn't get herself into the mindset that the person that ended up rescuing her was actually the killer.
All right, cool. Yeah, that'll do it. I mean, like if he was being nice to her, he wasn't in the school, so of course you're gonna.
No, he was good.
And he had an ape who like he had a chimpanzee who like did stuff. For him. He just points a laser at something, and the chimp goes and does it. Gee, how about you? What's another plot in this movie?
There's a little boy who's very, very ugly.
Yeah.
And for some reason, his mother put mirrors all over the house and covered them up instead of just taking the mirrors down and getting rid of them.
I know. It's so bizarre. Like, yeah, I was telling you about that in the last episode when we were talking about this, and I don't know what you were thinking, but like I just described that, and then you saw it, so you were probably just like what were your thoughts during that?
I could just hear your play-by-play in my head. I was like, oh, so this is the part.
Yeah. Yeah, it's so crazy. Like, why are there so many mirrors in this house, and they're all just covered up? And it's like there's more mirrors than there should be if you don't have an ugly kid that's too ugly to look at. And then it's just like, I'll just cover them up. Yeah, that's another one. Sloan, what's another plot?
I just love the fact of her like deniability of like what's going on around her. Like there's the point where she's petting the bee in the beginning. She's just like, it's not going to hurt me. And it's like clearly stinging her. It's just like, I don't know, just a few things that I noticed there. But, you know, a lot of people get the feeling of like almost like an X-Men sort of power or even like Firestarter. Like it's very, very subtle. I mean, talking with bugs, but you know, it's can only go so far. But I mean, I'm sure like in the future, like some really great sorority pranks are going to be coming up. So shower full of maggots.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's actually go into the trailer. I forgot to do that earlier, but we can do it right now. I love the score.
Yeah, I need a little bit more synth, but besides that, it's fine.
That's cool. I love that.
The wind, yes. The phone. Very particular wind. Typical of this part of the country. A comes from the Alps. The blasts of warm air cause snow avalanches. While it blows, there are those who say it causes madness.
I feel. Well, now I'm ready to choose my character from Phenomena. I've got to figure that we've got a big select screen, and we can go into each one of the characters of it, like Bug Guy and Goblin, the actual band that plays the music,
Yeah.
and we've got
Night Chimp.
all these different people that we can just the chimp, the knife chimp, and
The
we
real
get to
hero
fight them
of the
against each
story.
other.
These characters could be on like a fighting video game, like Mortal Kombat.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. Okay, cool. Yeah,
8-bit rendition. Love it.
yeah. They're all There's Bug Girl. She controls bugs, and she sleepwalks. You got knife wielding chimp. You got wheelchair guy who just has a chimp. I guess that they work together.
Yeah. It rides on the back of the wheelchair and starts throwing knives.
He just points a laser. And, you got the bitch that just like overpowers like everybody somehow, and you have Ugly Boy, and but yeah, like first time I saw this movie was actually at Alamo Draft House years ago, like probably a
That's
decade
awesome.
ago. Yeah, it was like a midnight screening for
I
free.
was wondering if it was like Weird Wednesdays or something like that.
Yeah, it was at that time they do Terror Tuesday now, but it was Terror Thursday at that time, and it was free at midnight. And and I'd never heard of this movie, and it was just I like seeing it in a packed theater with a drunk audience was great. We were just like laughing at everything, and but yeah, like this was like a crazy movie, but up until like the third act, then it was like everything before that seemed very normal.
Mhm.
You know, like so yeah, like I went through this last time, but like it's so burnt into my brain. Like I remember going up to like everybody I knew the next day and just being like, dude, I saw this movie called Phenomena, also called Creepers, and it's like this girl that controls bugs for no reason. It's not explained, but she does. And then there's a killer, and he's trying to get her, so she runs into this house, and then there's like the lady who lives there. She's like being told a bitch to her, and she gives her a pill, and she's like, "Oh, you have to swallow this pill," and we don't know why, but she does. And then there's like maggots everywhere, and that's when Jennifer Connelly realizes, "Oh, she's trying to kill me because there's maggots all over the place." Okay, so then
It's a pretty good explanation, honestly. It's
Right.
more sensical than most of the ways. Like, I tried to, all different ways. Like, what's the point? And I guess that's it.
Yeah.
pretty good.
It's those Italian horror movies, man. It was just like there's no point. Just like people gotta die.
Yeah, no, spear through the back of the head. There you go. Like the actual weapon itself, like constructing it and then like killing somebody, it takes them time to get that going. Why don't you have it already set up in spear mode before like pursuing your victims?
It's not
that was
allowed, Sloan.
Suspiria is actually like the more serious, non-crazy version of like the exact same movie. By the way,
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen that one. I've always heard good things about it though.
yeah, I just saw it for the first time a couple days ago. But anyway, so she escapes, and then she like goes down this like tunnel that leads her into a room where there's a guy who's chained up and being tortured. And then she like slips and falls into a pool of dead bodies and maggots, and that I think is one of the coolest moments in any horror movie. Just this pool of just rotting corpses and so many maggots, and it was just like, wow, I can't believe like you don't see that in horror movies, really. Like just that level of just disgusting.
At least with practical effects, yeah.
Yeah. Like, I can't imagine how, like, they were filming that, and they were like, okay, so, Jennifer, you're going to have to jump into that pool.
No, thank
With
you.
actual,
No, thank you.
they might have been real maggots in there. I don't know. That was
That's
was
something
crazy.
that they used to do too. So I don't know about the factuality of that, but they did use real maggots in many of the other scenes.
Oh yeah,
I
and
wouldn't be
again,
surprised if they gave her a few just
and
to
same with
get it
Suspiria.
real creepy.
There's a scene in Suspiria where like it's a all girls boarding school, like this, and maggots start like dripping off of the roof. Like in the attic, there's like a dead body in a casket and like a basket or something, and it's just like millions of maggots, and they like drip down like into the floorboards onto like the girl sleeping underneath. And it's just, it's crazy.
It's one of my favorite Guar songs. Maggots are falling like rain.
I'm glad you bring that up right now,
That's what
Sean.
happened in this movie. That might have been influenced by Suspiria. But anyway, Phenomena. So she gets out of the pool, and like the evil bitch, she's just like laughing at her, but she gets attacked by the guy. She gets saved momentarily. So and then Jennifer Connelly, like she's in this hallway, finds the room where the little kid. Yeah, so we said earlier, there's just like mirrors all over the house, and the reason why there's mirrors, well, there's no reason why there's mirrors all over the house,
There's not.
but they're covered up, and the reason why we found out earlier, I forgot to mention. Yeah, it was like, yeah, my son, he's so ugly, he can't stand to look at himself, so I cover them up so he doesn't look at himself. And now he just spends all the time in his room with his crazy thoughts. And when I saw that in the theater, everybody was just like lost their shit. And so we see this room and the little kid like crying in a corner, and he's just like, "Don't look at me, I'm all ugly." And she's like, "No, you're not. Like, I know your mom's mean, but you know, you're fine. It's no problem. Here, let me like show you what you look like, and let me see you." And she turns around, and he's just so fucking ugly that she screams in his face and runs out of the room, out of the house, onto a dock, and gets on a boat and jets out of there. And that is just so incredible. I love that. And he chases her and attacks her, and then all of a sudden, flies come out of nowhere and eat the kid. And like this is where this movie turns into a roller coaster for me, because it's like, oh no. Oh, it was like first it's like, oh good, she escaped. Oh no, she's being attacked by this little kid now. Oh, good. Flies ate him. Well, that's good. Now she's good, but then she turns on the boat and it explodes. And then, oh no, the boat exploded. And now she's being attacked by the kid who's still underwater and trying to drown her. But oh good, he got caught. He got set on fire, so he's fine. And then oh good, she escaped. And then here comes her dad or her dad's uh, agent or whatever to come and save her. But oh no, his head falls off because it just got cut off. In fact, I have that scene right here. Wait, no, I don't. Never mind. I thought I did. But
It's just a quick drop. Just goes.
yeah,
I love
yeah,
those.
yeah. It's just like so like you don't see that coming at all. And then there's the killer, and she like has those like metal plate up against her head. And she's like, "Go ahead, call your bugs. Like I dare you, call them." And you're thinking, okay, she's going to call her bugs because that's what she does. And then she just like drops dead. And then there's the chimp who like slashes the fuck out of her face. And then it's like, oh, good. So yeah, total roller coaster. Yeah. So what were your thoughts during all that?
Well, there's a lot of information that can still fill some of those holes, such as the doctor that the chimp actually works for. You know, the chimp had to. I don't really know. You really summed that all up really well. I love your comment before on like, you know, the Deus Ex Machina, just like continuously saving her, like just randomly throughout everything. It's like,
Yeah,
oh, no.
she got the whole movie, yeah. This movie should have been called Deus Ex Machina the movie, because even like earlier in the beginning when she is sleepwalking, she just part of the ground of the balcony she's on just drops and she falls down, but it's just like her clothes get like caught in it, and she's like fine. She doesn't fall to her death.
So I do love the fact that the doctor tells her one time, he's just like, the next time you're sleepwalking, tell yourself, I am sleepwalking. Wake up. And then it's just like she does it immediately, like the first time, and she wakes herself up, and it's just like,
Who knew?
all right, you control sleep, not bugs.
Yeah. I feel like they just made the script as they went along with this movie.
I can see that.
Because like nothing has anything to do with anything else. And it's like something happens and then it stops happening and then something else happens.
I like the fact that we got the little science exposure when they talk about how to I guess date dead bodies, not in a morbid sense, but for how long it's been dead for.
Yeah.
But there's like 12 different insects that end up co-inhabiting. Like a different insect will take over every other week. And I found that pretty fascinating. So depending on what insect's in there, it depends on how many weeks it's been dead. So food for thought.
Yeah. There's some science in this.
Right?
But the science that's not in there is, hey, fly, that's only been alive for a day. Show me where this murder took place.
Right.
Like a month ago.
Yeah, no, that is an interesting theorem right there. Yeah, because even then, like hive minds, like how would the insects be conversing between each other? Like,
but flies,
I wonder if it's like whales, where like they speak the same language, but only their own pod can actually understand themselves.
Yeah,
that's
like if it was like ants or like actual hive mind bugs, then like that would kind of make sense. But flies they don't live in colonies.
Yeah, why didn't she didn't send the hornets to attack all these people? Like, I think that would have worked out a little bit better.
Oh, like in the school where they're all making fun of her,
yeah,
and they all swarm up and have them. That would have been cool, but that probably would have been too difficult to film.
Yeah, no, I'm being very impractical.
G, what were some of your thoughts that you had as you were watching this movie?
If I had to sum it up, so sometimes when you do like 48-hour filmmaking challenges, they email you a list of like a couple things you have to include in your movie to make sure that they know it was made for this challenge. And it kind of felt like Dario Argento wrote a good script, but then they're like, okay, you need to include like someone that can control bugs and sleepwalking and a knife-wielding chimp. And he was like, okay. And he wrote it into the movie, and that's the result.
Don't forget about the fugly boy.
Yes.
Yeah. Like, we still have 10 minutes left of this, or no, not even that, like 3 minutes left of this movie. We need some more, something crazy. There's knife wielding, or blade wielding chimp. What explain for those who don't know what that is, G. Like, what do you mean by blade wielding chimp?
So, towards the beginning of the movie, the monkey is hanging out with his scientist buddy, and he picks up a scalpel or whatever, and the scientist is like, "Hey, like, put that down. Like, don't play with scalpels; they'll sharp and they'll hurt people." And the monkey's like, "Okay," like, woo, 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 and puts it down. But then at the end, the monkey's digging through the trash, which I thought was a really cute scene. You like drinks the apple juice. I thought that was really cute. He finds like a switch razor thingy.
Yeah.
And is like I guess
Goes on his
since
way.
my scientist friend is dead, that I can disobey him. And
Retribution.
I mean, it worked out pretty good because knife-wielding chimp saved the day.
And the most like if this was any other movie, I would be so pissed if that's how the movie did.
I mean, hell, that's pretty much what I would expect, like the chimp from Speed Racer to do. Just, runs up. If it's not slashing people's tires, it's slashing their backs or something.
I have a specific
having
note.
What's
I've
that?
got a specific note here that says that's legit how I want every horror movie to end. Is with a knife wielding chimp to just come out of nowhere and just murder somebody.
Yeah.
I would be, because I've seen a lot of horror movies where somebody just comes out of nowhere at the end and kills the killer.
Yeah.
If it's always a chimp, I'm in a good place. I'm gonna enjoy that movie.
But not only that, but that's like one of the few parts of this movie that actually is clear and concise from beginning to end. Because as G said, he has the knife earlier, or the scalpel, and like he's specifically told, don't play with this because you can cut yourself and hurt others. And so this is just
I learned that thing right here, right now. Gonna hurt somebody. Got it.
And it's like, okay, we're now learning some new information for the future. It's like that's actually good script writing. And then the chimp like watches his scientist buddy getting violently murdered, and then he like leaves, and then like you said, he digs in the trash, finds the razor, and then like it's personal. We're fucking like he's gonna use that for revenge, and he does. And then but they're so far away from each other, you forget about him. Like
You do.
Because at the end,
I didn't factor him into the ending while I was watching it.
You what?
Yeah, I didn't factor
totally
him
forgot
into
about
the
him.
ending. Yeah,
and that's what makes it so great, because she's like, "Go ahead, cut all your bugs," and like you're like, "Okay, the bugs are gonna save her again, like they did."
They're gonna take a little time. I don't know. Maybe she's gonna have dung beetles or something throw poop in her eyes. I don't know, man. I don't get this movie at this point. But then knife wielding chimp, we got him. That's not
and
what
then
I thought was
he
gonna
like
happen. But cool.
slices her face up like brutally, and then like Jennifer Connelly just hugs them, and then the credits, and then you have like the
knife wielding bloodthirsty chimp for the rest of her life now. That's her buddy.
And then the music comes on. It's like da 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 da.
She's gonna be so scared for the rest of her life because like he's gonna be in her room. That's the new Foster. Like she's gotta take care of him. Right?
Well, he's a good chip. Like they're friends.
Yeah, but he has a taste for blood now.
Yeah, but
I don't want him in my room.
I mean, as long as it's you
as long as you feed him on time.
Yeah.
And he doesn't believe that closing the door means that you don't love him anymore or something like that.
I mean, that's my thought process. I see so many doors closed every day, and it just makes me sad.
Bloodthirsty chimp terrifies me.
But man, when I saw this movie in the theater, like people loved that scene. Like the whole audience just like burst with laughter and applause when that chimp when he killed her at the end. That was great.
That's fair.
So let's talk about like I like how when Jennifer's sleepwalking and Iron Maiden's playing, and then then you see like the other girl like running for her life. It's kind of like a little music video for us. It just turns into an Iron Maiden music video, which it doesn't really like fit at all, but for this movie it does. Like it kind of worked. But like, Daniel, are you saying
I can't agree with you. I felt like
I couldn't get into I love the musical score for this movie, but it was just placed in all the wrong moments. Like
yes.
the most subtle acting had like the hardest music. And it's
Yeah.
just like, all right, you're just like standing there. This is like just filler and
If this
giving
was
me anxiety.
if this was any other movie, I would completely agree with you. But the fact that like this movie does everything wrong, it's kind of right.
The like the synth music was more along the lines of like, you know, the original Dawn or Day of the Dead. Like it works well with the like impactful zombie movies, but
Yeah.
I just didn't think it was appropriate for, you know, just strolling around in the middle of the night. That's just
Yeah.
me though. I love the music.
Well, see,
It was great.
Sloan, I
Goblin
want
did
to
a wonderful
argue
job.
on this one here. I would have liked to see more music all the time for everything they did because I felt like the music was actually really impactful and really fun. But when you cut it off for very long periods of time, it seems really abrupt and upsetting when they
That's
just
what was
start
upsetting
back up
me.
again.
I definitely agree with that concept. Yeah,
Yeah.
it could have dealt with more scenes with it,
Yeah.
Yeah.
more rather than less.
Well, we'll come up to this when we get up to our challenge for the movie, but I felt like it really drove me crazy that they just didn't have more metal, more pushy synth, more.
Well, it's 1985, so like
Yeah.
synth was really crazy back then. Everybody loved their synth, and which is crazy because then they did Iron Maiden and Motorhead, which has no synth. So it was like you get the two things.
They
You
have
have the,
good
like,
driving beats to just like really get you motivated.
uh-huh. G, do you have anything to add to this?
I thought the music was fun. I enjoyed the out of the blue needle drops of metal songs. I think it just added to it because it's like,
Yeah,
why
exactly.
is this playing? Like, why is this playing?
It's like that helps this movie become so bad it's good. You know, like this is a very so bad it's good movie, and I've been wanting to cover this one for a while. Ever since like the first podcast, I just never got around to it until just now. But it's and then the band that's playing Goblin, they're for Dario Argento, like say damn like I forgot his name. The guy that Tim Burton always uses.
Danny
Danny Elfman.
Yeah, it's like Goblin is to Dario Argento like Danny Elfman, and his band is to Tim Burton. It's like he uses them for like all of his movies.
Hooking up the homies.
Yeah. Let's see. We're really like going through this pretty quick.
It's good.
I mean, the first sentence of like explaining what the movie was pretty much got the movie all together. Girl with telekinesis powers, chirps at crickets and commands flies. And she is the Lord of the Flies.
Yeah, she is. Does anybody have anything else to add? Daniel, I know you have a bunch of crazy notes.
Oh, no, I can't read them. Donald Pleasance, though, just
yes, that's the wheelchair
time.
scientist guy. Is Donald Pleasance from Halloween.
I love Donald Pleasance. Every single time I see him, I'm like, this is going to be some cheesy movie gold. Nice. And he did not fail me. We'll get into that later, though. I have saved him for a later part of this review. Donald Pleasance is amazing.
Yes. All right. Sloan or Gene, do you have anything that you'd like to bring up?
I think I covered most of my bases.
All right.
Well, I really liked the scene with all of the girls tormenting Jennifer. Being like, I'm a bug. I really liked how that scene was shot.
Yeah.
That's my closing statement.
Like the script is insane, but yeah, the directing of Dario Argento is so really good. And yeah, all the I agree. Yeah, I really enjoyed that scene too, where like the camera's just panning back and she's just walking, and then you see just people come from both sides at her, and all the like far away shots were all really good. Like everything technical about this movie, I'd say is pretty good.
Yeah.
The cinematography was amazing. Yeah, the
So-
score.
I do have one other thing to bring up. So during the times that Jennifer's sleepwalking, and she's walking through the corridor of doors, and I'm not really sure exactly what's going on in there. I know at one point she opens up a door, but when she's sleepwalking, she ends up coming face to face in the window with the first girl that's getting murdered. And it's just like,
what we saw in the trailer.
Yeah, you're really lucky you didn't get that spear through your own face. Like, but the fact that like she somehow finds the doctor like by sleepwalking to him, which I'm still trying to wrap my head around that whole situation. So, like, are the bugs guiding her while she's in her sleep? Like,
No.
Little mites behind her eyes telling her what to do.
It just happened.
that.
Yeah, it just happened.
I have so many questions leaving this movie. Maybe if I watch it a second time, it'll make a smidgen more sense.
It won't.
I promise you it won't. I did that today. I tried.
Yeah, no, it's just the answer to most of your questions, if not all.
42
is who cares? That's the answer.
They weren't trying for continuity.
Yeah, it's just it happens.
They succeeded.
Like I said, you're just on a roller coaster. This movie. I have a question for you. What did you watch this on? Like, was it on Tubi or Shudder?
Yes,
It was on Shudder
Maybe.
for me.
Okay. For G, for you, did they just like swap to just speaking Italian at random points?
No, it was like dubbed over in English and then
The
subtitles
entire
came up.
movie,
the whole time.
And Daniel, you saw the Italian parts, right?
Oh yeah.
They
They
just share a couple of lines. Her and the doctor.
That's probably the Tubi
Oh no, they did it in a
version
couple different
of the
sections. It was
Shudder
at least
version.
3 separate times. They
Yeah,
swapped over to
They just
Italian,
start
and
speaking Italian.
sometimes it was very short, but sometimes it was very long, like the one you're talking about, Sloan. It was very long. So,
yeah.
and I just watched this movie regardless. Doesn't matter. They're not
So
saying
was it
anything that
Italian or was it
important.
Dutch?
What?
Was it Italian or was it Dutch? Since where they're
I,
at is
I'd
like,
imagine it was Italian.
I thought it was
Okay.
Italian,
yeah,
but that's me being racist.
But they're in the Alps
Yeah,
for this movie. So
but
that's-
it sounded like Italian.
maybe
So, G, your version, I guess, was fine. For
Yeah.
us watching it on Tubi, it was like at random points they just started speaking Italian. Like it was like it went to like the original before it was dubbed over, and for some reason. And
What was it like in the theater, Ian? Did they do that, or is that
no,
something
they
that was
didn't
just
because there's I don't remember most of what was being said, but I do remember one specific part because the audience laughed a lot. Was when she's the first time that it switched over to Italian when she's in bed with the girl that's a fan of her father, and she's like, "What?"
Paul Carpino?
I have trouble sleeping. What do you think about when you sleep? She says, I think about my dad. And then the other girl just responds in Italian, and we don't speak Italian, so we don't know what she said. But in the original version, and G, back me up on this. Am I right? Because it's been like 10 years. I believe that was what she said was, if I thought about your father, I'd never go to sleep.
Yeah.
Got big muscles.
So bad.
Yeah, we never get to see the father. It's just like, man,
No.
all this talk and no show.
Just his assistant.
His aid, yeah.
So yeah,
I'm
for
so sad
anyway,
learning
G,
that, by the
for
way.
that scene,
It's
yeah,
disgusting.
that line was just like it was just in Italian, so I guess it was censored. I don't know. And then there's two other parts which were a lot longer, where it's like the entire dialogue is just in Italian, and I don't know. But
Did they choose to do that just to make it like palatable? Is that what
I-
their thought was?
I have no idea, but it's so funny.
This is Italians talking Italian bullshit. You
And
don't need to listen.
it just adds so much more to the whole like so bad is good thing, because it's like
I hate it.
I'm surprised, Daniel, because you usually love schlock like this.
Oh, I do. There was a lot that I did like about this, but it's still got a very questionable set of dialogue in the movie, and it just there's not a point.
No, but I mean
that
that's
hurts
how.
me. It hurts me.
Yeah, this is coming from the guy who loves Turkish Star Wars.
Oh, but that's meant to be not a point.
I think this also is meant to not be a point.
I can't get into Turkish Star Wars. We're not on that channel. I love it for the fact that it is a ripoff. And a ripoff is very, very, very different when somebody directly rips off something.
True.
Versus just spoofs on it. Just spoofing on something doesn't make it better. When you're doing a direct ripoff and you do such a bad job, like something like Turkish Star Wars, you just gotta you move on with your life, and then you realize that it's great. But oh man, with something like this, I think that Dario Argento had a really good idea, and I like this movie a lot for reasons. But I found myself very much hating the watching of it. And that's not good
I'm
for a
so
movie.
surprised, because like there's so many movies that you love that are like very similar.
But what happened during this movie? Nothing happened in the movie for so long, for no reason.
Yeah, that's
Nothing
true.
added up.
You
And there was
you could
no good
easily
reason.
cut out like 45 minutes.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it's just nothing happened, and we didn't go anywhere. And so why do we care about anybody? I mean, I love Jennifer Connelly's character. I love Donald Pleasant's character. But where did they go? Nowhere. They didn't
No.
actually.
Very convoluted evolution.
Yeah, nothing happened in the movie. It's upsetting to me because I saw so much potential and it didn't go anywhere.
Okay. Gee, what are your thoughts on all this?
I don't know, man. I thought this was a fun to watch movie, and I just didn't think during it. I just turned my brain off, and I just
That's what you're supposed to.
God bless.
Just-
God bless you, G.
it just
God bless
came
you.
and washed over me. I would probably watch it again. I feel like this would be a fun movie to watch with a group of people,
Yeah.
especially like knowing, like anticipating knife wielding chimp at the end. I think would be so much fun with some people.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, like I said, I saw it in a packed theater and with a drunk audience, and it was a hoot.
Yeah. No, I thought it was fun. I mean, you said the characters went nowhere. Well, Donald Pleasance's character went to heaven because he died. So
Wait, he might
Rest
not
in
have.
peace.
He was not doing a good job at life. He had heads in his apartment. He just left them there just to see how they rotted. I think he was going
I
to
mean,
hell. Sorry.
It was technically a favor at that point. He told her early on, he's just like, I'm angry every single day. It's just like, well, yeah, not with that attitude, buddy. It's just like, you need to get yourself some stabilizing pills. Write yourself a prescription. Ugh.
Right, yourself.
But,
a prescription.
No, you guys are giving me some good ideas for prompts, though.
Let's go ahead and go into that. So, what do you have? Like a sequel, prequel?
So I would
Kinda thing?
definitely get this completely remade. Mine's short but simple, and
All right.
get it remade. Let's go ahead and have. You gave me this idea just a moment ago. Let's go ahead and get Tim Burton and come on,
Danny
Oingo
Elfman.
Boingo, Danny Elfman.
Oingo Boingo. That was the name that I couldn't think of.
Yeah, the Mystic Knights of the
I
Oingo
was
Boingo.
like, I was so close to like, I was trying to think of Oingo Boingo earlier, and the only thing that popped into my head was Ooga Booga.
They're also very good. Great group. But yeah, no. Let's go ahead and get some backing from James Gunn, executive producing, and let's get this like really well done, and
I think Tim Burton would do a good.
You make it really dark and just
not anymore.
Let's make it a whimsical musical. The noise.
20 years ago would have been dark. Now it would be like full of color.
Yeah,
and Johnny Depp.
Yeah, I mean, if you made it like Sweeney Todd-esque, that would be interesting.
Who would Johnny Depp be playing?
Johnny Depp. No, Johnny Depp is totally going to be the doctor.
The doctor. Yeah, he's old enough now. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, he would be good with that. Who would have?
Or maybe he's her father. You actually get to see the father.
And who would Helen Bonham Cutter be?
What's that?
Who would?
Who would the main character be?
No, Johnny Depp's wife, or not Johnny Depp's wife. Tim Burton's wife, who's in all this movie, is Helen Bonham Cutter.
No, she's definitely the headmistress. Either her or she can be the evil lady in the end.
The killer.
Yeah.
No, I like the headmistress better. That's probably that'll work. Cool.
Yeah. No. All right. This has potential. Let's get this rolling.
Get Tim Burton on the phone.
Remake. That's where I stand with it.
It's very good. I like it.
Because as G said before, like the script was written relatively well. It was just the process of non-elimination during filming. As we said, 45 minutes could totally have been removed from this movie, and maybe actually like center lying some kind of plot, like actual concrete evidence of like.
It's
a chemical. It's a chemical like imbalance, but it's evolutionary process. Like I don't know. There's just so much that can be brought into it. Let's tie it into the X-Men. Like let's make this new Marvel Cinematic Universe material.
Yeah. What was that all you had? You said that I just gave you that idea. Did you have any?
No. I was going off the cuff with this one. That's all I have.
So you came in empty-handed?
Relatively. Full head, empty hands. Hey, and I made gold.
Yeah.
You helped me.
G, how about you? Do you have a prompt?
Yes, I would like this movie to cross over with the Drew Barrymore Firestarter movie. And I would just like these two superpowered girls to hang out with knife-wielding chimp and save the world and stuff. They're just besties, and they hang out with knife-wielding chimp, and they start fires and send bugs to people. And I just think that'd be a fun little movie.
They're great at parties.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, you could have like this, like that they're trying to be normal, and then like just the slightest thing happens that just like slightly alters their plans, and they're just very, very irritated, but just a little bit, and then just a full-on murder.
Yeah. Murder hornets.
That's what I like.
Flames ablazing.
Like they go like grocery shopping together, and like I don't know, somebody like gets in their way and gives them that attitude. It's like, hey, watch it, lady. I'm walking here, and they're just all right. Kill the entire store. Because that's that. I don't know. I'm just like kind of jumping in my own thing somehow. Like, yeah, I'm talking about grocery stores, but that's where you want to murder people the most, I think.
Tell me more.
Yeah, I'm interested now. I'm paying attention. I don't want to get murdered in a grocery store. So how do I stay
I
out
mean,
of trouble?
the plot that he's giving is a little better than the plot that we were given. So there we go.
All right.
No, I like that.
Daniel, how about you? What's your pitch?
No. You don't get off the hook with that. How are you going to murder people in the grocery store?
Bye.
No comment.
I'm not impressed.
Yeah.
All right, Ian.
It's just people irritate me. They go really slow. They boss hog the lanes, and it sucks. Anyway,
There's never any.
Okay,
There's never any
alright,
bags in the
we
self
can
checkout.
change
God,
that.
this place is burning to the ground. Okay.
Anyway, Daniel, what's your pitch?
Oh, so Sloan actually did touch on this at the end of his idea here. I'm bringing him into the MCU.
Heck yeah.
It's my alternative universe for the X-Men that I really want to see, and I want to see Wheelchair Guy. I want to see Bug
He's
Lady,
dead.
and I want to see Knife Wielding Ape. Oh no! This is alternate universe.
Oh, okay.
We've got to go with this. Like, this is
725.
one of the bad. Yeah, this is one of the bad arts. Like, it didn't happen, but we're entering the Spider-Verse now. We've got to get in there and rescue these people for the greater good. And it's going to be terrible because we've got a lady with insect powers for no reason, not explained, not interested in explaining it. They're not going to do it in the movie. She needs her own sequel. So she's got to have a sequel. It's not going to explain anything else, but also Hit Monkey. Hit Monkey was a big MCU thing that they did.
It is, yeah. Marvel's got that one.
Yeah, they failed in their cartoon version of it, but Hit Monkey still exists, and I think that's an origin story for him right there. He slashed a lady in the face with a scalpel, and I think he could become a great character in the future. I also still want to see the evil lady Professor McGonagall Harry Potter mixture that's happening in this smash up. And I want her to come out as a evil wizard. I think that's great. And I don't know, man. This movie didn't make me want any one particular thing. It made me want everything all at once because it didn't happen in a sensical feature. So I would love to see people eaten alive in the maggot pit. It didn't happen, though. That's not a torture pit. It just exists in this house.
It's just
She
a
just
refuse.
has a pit of dead bodies. But it's not used for torture.
Where are you supposed to put your dead bodies? She has a pool. She's got to use them.
But it's not a torture device. She should have used it as one. That guy wasn't on a hook. He wasn't allowed to touch the torture pool. That sucks.
Yeah.
Come on, man. Dip him in the torture pool every once in a while. Let the maggots get in him. It's gonna be gross. I want to see that.
Yeah, that scene was so haunting.
It was.
Yeah.
I just want to see more. I want to see more of everything from all of them. And that's why I think that the X-Men could really come in there, because you could make Wheelchair Guy into this big savant that like wants to bring people into the real world. And so he's sending her out there to rescue this mutant of a child. And she doesn't even understand his bullshit going on. And like, she needs to kill him with fire, which is a huge way to kill mutants back in the day. And just, I wanted to blow up, but I wanted to blow up in like a very negative political way. And I feel like the X-Men is the best way to do it.
Yeah.
I hear that.
Yeah, definitely. I have the exact same pitch.
That's
what I came in with. Yeah, it's like her, and turns out Donald Pleasance, like, turns out he survived, but now he's telepathic for reasons. And they decide, like, that boarding school was terrible. We need a new boarding school with people like us. Uh, and then there's one who, controls weather. And or like pretty much, I mean, specifically, I would love to see Dario Argento's creepers.
We have to have Ryan Reynolds in that movie. I hope you know this.
No, because he's not Dario Argento. Dario Argento's X-Men, like that's what I want to see, his fucked up, crazy version of like
I
these
can see
people
that.
in the school.
I would watch that for sure.
I would definitely watch that. Kind of like the Brightburn movie where the kid's growing up like Superman and just starts murdering everybody.
Right? Yeah. That's definitely what I would want. But yeah. I guess, let's go ahead and rate this. So, I mean, I love it. I think we're kind of split here. But Daniel, why don't you go ahead and kick us off?
I'm going to have to give it a 6. I'm going to have to give it 6 maggots that I saw specifically in Jennifer Connelly's mouth during the pool scene.
Nice.
6 out of 10. There could have been more. She could have spit them out. That would have been nice.
Just I was glad she ended up in the water and just like it like the actual water, like the sea next to it, or not the sea, but like the lake or whatever, and just washed all that off. You don't have to worry about having a shower. Yeah, I thought about that too. Like, oh, that worked really well. I'm really glad she got to wash it herself a little. Yeah. G, how about you?
I give this a 5.5 knife-wielding chimps out of 10.
Nice. Wait, that's it? Just 5? I thought you loved this.
I did. It was fun to watch, but now as this retrospective and I'm sort of replaying the movie in my head, it was a fun watch, but it wasn't that good as a movie. As a concept, it's very fun sounding.
That's the point of this
as podcast. A 2-hour movie, it kind of dragged on a bit. So 5.5 knife-wielding chimps.
As somebody who likes the 0.5, what was your 0.5 chimps?
The chimp.
Oh.
No, just kidding. He was the 5 stars.
I was going to say.
I don't know. Just 5.5 felt right for me. It's not a 5. It's a 55%. Yeah.
I hear that.
Okay. Slow.
So, as everybody's been saying, I feel slightly traumatized reliving these horrendous actions again in my mind. I'm joking. No, I like the movie overall when it came down to it. Post-traumatic stress aside. Could have been done a lot better. Musical scores, as we said before, if they were elongated, probably would have fixed it. But I just felt that they were misshapen for what they were used for. It just wasn't a right fit for me. Just time placement. Otherwise, Jennifer Connelly did a good job, as well as Pleasance. He's, of course, an iconic character. Gotta love the things that he's in, always playing some kind of sharp-minded vigilante or whatever, scientist in this. But I mean, his backstory is what trained Hit Monkey to be the awesome suit and knife-wielding gentleman that he really is. And so I'm looking forward to that spinoff. Long story short, I'm going to go ahead and give it 5 out of 10 teeth in the mouth of Snaggleface, the little boy.
He had some pretty gross teeth.
It was probably 5 out of 10.
Yeah. I think y'all are crazy. I think that this is very enjoyable. Very bad, yeah. But that's the point of this podcast. There's a reason why this podcast is called Cult and Trash. Because that's the movies we cover on here. I mean, lately I've been doing better cult movies. But, you got to do some good trash every once in a while. Have some tasty trash. Yeah, so I'm straight up just like, I mean, there are some boring parts, so I I gotta take out for that. But the entire third scene, it's so crazy. I just love it. And it has Iron Maiden and Motorhead in it, and I'm a big fan of them. But I'm gonna go see Iron Maiden concert here in a couple months. Yeah. And they better do that song, Flash of the Blade. But yeah, so I'll give it eight people that I want to murder in the grocery store.
I'm glad that remained some kind of continuity there.
Yeah.
I'll be dreaming of grocery stores tonight. There we go.
Just burned it to the ground with flies and shit, just because somebody just slowed me down for 2 seconds.
Slowed me down.
All right, well, that'll do it for this episode. We're going to Trash Horror Movie Grind. Next week, we're doing another older movie, an even older movie. And it looks a little something like this.
See? Aldo was right. War has come. Let's go.
Yeah. So I know that it looks like one of the recent Planet of the Apes movies that came out a couple years ago. I mean, it looks almost exactly the same, but no, that's from the 70s. You can tell by how amazing those masks were. Those special
I'm a huge fan
effects
of the originals.
Oh, yeah.
Huge fan.
Yeah, so I mean, joking aside, that's from the third movie, no, the fourth one in the series. So there's Planet of the Apes in like 1969 or whatever. Then there's Beneath Planet of the Apes. Then there's Escape the Planet of the Apes. And then this one is Battle of the Planet of the Apes. And then there's Conquest, but that one sucks. Battle is like the best one because it's the one. It's like the prequel where the apes take over and kill all and then there's like war between the humans and
They kill everybody in the supermarket.
supermarket and elsewhere. But yeah, that's a fun one. Apparently, like it was rated G because like that's how ratings were back then, and parents brought their kids thinking like, oh yeah, we're gonna go see monkeys. And then all these kids were traumatized. But yeah, so that's next week's. Yeah. So once again, check out G on her show, Hell to the Deadites. And then check out Sloan's band, Cosmic Cadavers. Y'all are doing you're doing a lot of gigs and stuff like that.
Doing a lot of we're about to start branching out probably more for San Antonio, Dallas, and Houston areas, but yeah, lot in Austin going on right now. So
Nice.
yeah, Caustic Cadavers. Trying to work on the second album at the moment.
Nice. Yeah, check that out. And yeah, so that'll be this episode. And yeah, thanks for watching, everybody. And check you next time.